Howdy, roofers, and welcome to Roofer Growth Hacks, the podcast that's dedicated to highlighting those in the roofing industry, learning how they overcame their growth challenges with creative growth hacks, and connecting them with others in the roofing industry. I'm your host, Chris Hunter, founder and chief marketing officer of roofingsites.com. I'm also the author of the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. Welcome to our special episode that is the November State of Marketing for Roofing Companies. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about trends that we are seeing, some of the things that you should be focusing on as a roofing company in the marketing arena, as well as sales, because really marketing and sales go hand in hand. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, first of all, what we have been getting reports of is that sales are starting to slow down up north, right? I am located in College Station, Texas, so we are pretty deep south, I would say. And the sales don't really seem to be slowing down in Texas and Florida and Louisiana and all the southern states. But if you're up north, things are starting to get colder. People are starting to draw back their the sales inside of things, for the most part. So what I want to talk to is that if you are up north and you are starting to see things slow down, I would highly encourage that you lean a little heavier into your marketing. What I mean by this is actually spending a little bit more on your Google ads, adding more time that you are spending into and energy that you're spending into video marketing and all these other things, right? But when sales slow down is typically when you want to start ramping things up a little bit more on the marketing side of things to get those top of the funnel leads coming into your sales funnels. Okay. And I highly, highly encourage video marketing to help shortcut a lot of this. If you're not using video in your marketing strategy at this point, you're going to start getting left behind by your competition. Okay. Video is a way to shortcut people getting to know, like, and trust you. And that's one of the biggest issues that we have in sales in the marketing industry, right? And that's one of the biggest issues that we have in sales in the roofing industry. Okay. So lean more into your marketing. I would also at this time start looking into and fixing your sales systems. I have been for the past couple of months really digging into our clients' sales systems, and I'm seeing a lot of holes in a lot of our clients' sales back ends. And what I mean by that is that your CRM, right, shows you all of the data. I'm a very data-driven type of a guy, and you want to ensure that you're following up on a regular basis. Well, first of all, you want to make sure that you're picking up the phone every single time. You can't imagine how many roofing companies that we assess, right, that we even call, that don't even bother to pick up their phone. And that's because honestly, y'all are getting inundated with marketers, right? Other marketers that are calling y'all that are trying to pitch you on their services. You're getting inundated with spam calls. You're getting inundated with a lot of people that are looking for jobs. Okay. So my recommendation is to offload all of that to someone who's going to answer your calls for you, whether that's an admin, in-house, or a couple of people ideally in-house that are picking up the phone, one that rolls over to another person if the first person is busy. Okay. But ensure that you're picking up every single phone call, because the second that you stop picking up your phones is the second that you're most likely going to start missing sales. And that's what I'm seeing when I look into our clients' CRMs and into their sales systems. Now, I've been doing sales personally for the past 20 plus years. I wouldn't consider myself an expert salesperson, right? But I do know that it is business basic to pick up every single phone call. Okay. And just because you're getting a bunch of spam calls, just because you're getting a bunch of calls from solicitors, just because you're getting a lot of calls from marketers, doesn't mean that you should stop picking up your phones. Okay. And screen those people, because here's why is that if you don't pick up your phone and you try to call that homeowner back, okay, you most likely are not going to get them because they're talking to somebody else already. Okay. And homeowners will simply go right down the line, one right after another, until they find someone who actually does pick up. And ideally you want that to be you. Okay. So that's the number one thing that we see broken in sales systems. Number two thing that we see broken in sales systems specifically is follow-up. Okay. This day and age, we have to follow up more than just once. Okay. We have to follow up at least 15 times. And this is research driven, data that is showing us that we have to follow up and follow up and follow up. Now, how often do you follow up? I would say at first you want to follow up more, okay? And then follow up less as time goes on. All right. So what we have for our own appointment setters is that we follow up within 5 minutes of any lead coming in. Okay, first and foremost, if someone fills out a form, someone DMs you on Instagram or Facebook, someone reaches out to you in one way or another that you didn't you weren't able to pick up the phone, follow up. Okay, within 5 minutes. Number two, if you're not able to get that person, okay, follow up a little bit later in the day. The next day, follow up at least 3 times, right? Morning, noon, almost dinner time. Okay. Follow up, follow up, follow up. And the last part is make sure that you're following up on a daily basis. Okay. When I say follow up, you're calling, you're texting, you're emailing. I would recommend at least 2 forms of communication. And these days, what's more effective is text messaging, right? But don't rely on just that. So call every time you call, make sure that you send a text message as well. Okay. Then you follow up once a week, okay, for the next month. After a month goes by, then you drop back to once a month. Okay, there was a reason that they reached out to you. There's a reason that they called, and there's a lot of opportunities that could be seized, especially in the slower season, right? If you just simply call the people in your database that reached out to you. Okay, so highly, highly recommend that. Next thing, because it is starting to slow down up north, right? Start planning for next season. Okay. Build that plan, build a strategy for next season, build the systems, or at least identify which systems that you're weakest in. Okay. Do a SWOT analysis of your marketing systems and see, are you coming up in Google? Are you showing in the map pack? Okay. The 3-pack. Do you have local service ads running? Are they effective? Are you getting leads in through those local service ads? Is there something that you need to do with that? Do you even have Google ads running? Okay. Dominate Google first, then start working into other areas. Start looking into Facebook, right? Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google Business Profile. These are the 5 areas that we look at when it comes to social media, right? Are we posting on a regular basis? Are we posting stories? Are we posting job site photos? Are we posting reviews? Okay, start looking at those systems and build a plan for next year on how you're going to fix that system. Okay, doesn't necessarily need to be hiring a company like my company, roofingsites.com, but these are all systems that you need in place in order to get more leads in, get more people calling you, and to grow your business. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some trends in the marketing industry. And by the way, those were all things that we're seeing up north, down south here, right? I would still highly recommend that you continue leaning into your marketing. Make sure that you do fix those sales systems. You, as the business owner, the roofing company owner, should be looking at those systems on a regular basis and trying to fix things that are broken. And it might be little tiny things, right? Like that follow-up system that I was talking about that are broken. All right, so let's talk about those trends for inside of the marketing industry as a whole. All right. Marketing is very hard to keep up with. It is super hard to keep up with. Okay. It is a moving target, and especially Google. Google changes on average at least 600 times per year. And they've been doing that for the past 20 years. Okay. Yes, it keeps us marketers on your toes, but it also becomes a moving target, right? Which is the primary reason that I am doing this podcast right now. Okay. So Google Ads, let's talk about that right now. Google Ads, I would highly recommend that you ensure that you have 3 different types of marketing advertising systems put into place for the reach pillar, and that's Google Ads, right? Make sure that you're coming up in search. Okay, I just mentioned that a little bit ago. Make sure that you're running display ads. Okay, make sure that you are running video ads. More and more people are using YouTube. Okay, more and more people are watching YouTube videos. You can target your videos, your advertisements, your educational videos, in fact, towards those people. You want to draw people into your world in one fashion or another. Once they're in your world, you can retarget them with those display ads. Okay. and ensure that you become the choice, not a choice in your market. Okay. Secondly, all right, second trend that we are seeing is that social media, if you've ever tried to keep up with social media like Facebook, Instagram, any of those, it is a moving target as well. Okay. Um, they change all the time, almost daily, right? And every time that you go in there, there's some sort of an algorithm change. There's some sort of an interface change. Okay, make sure that you're keeping up with those things. But on social media, right? We talked about this earlier. Is that I would highly recommend that you lean into that and not from a standpoint of getting found, right? Which is Google, but more of a standpoint of branding. So when people do come into your world, okay, that they see that you're posting educational content on a regular basis, that they see you are posting job site photos, that they see that you're posting testimonials from your customers, from your homeowners that you're working with. They see that you're posting stories of you and your staff and the things that are going on in your roofing company. Okay, lean into social media a little bit there. The holidays are coming up, right? So I would highly recommend that you start running some seasonal deals. Okay. We've got, there's the month of November. So the obvious thing is, well, one, we've got Veterans Day. Okay. November 11th. And number two, we have Thanksgiving. Okay. Two main, pretty big holidays that you shouldn't ignore. Okay. There are lots of marketers that I follow and they all say you should always be marketing towards a holiday. Don't let a holiday pass you up without some sort of a promotion. Now, what kind of promotion? Well, you could do a discount on inspections. You can do a discount possibly on gutters, windows, siding. Okay. Something other than possibly roof itself. Okay. Maybe you can run a special if you're, doing roof rejuvenation, you could, or roof cleaning, you could run a special on that, right? Whatever that it takes to keep your crews busy, right? And to ensure that you have business coming in on a steady basis. Now, the next thing, let's talk about content marketing, and I've touched on it several times in this episode. And I talk about content marketing all the time, okay? And that's because it gets people to know, like, and trust you, okay? And if you're using video content marketing, I highly recommend that you watch our latest workshop that we just ran. It's on YouTube. It's I think we're even putting it right in front of this episode here on our podcast. So if you're just joining the Roofer Growth Hacks podcast, right, go listen to some other episodes. The one prior to this was about how to build a video marketing machine in your roofing company. This is something that could be monumental, honestly, for you because video is the easiest way to shortcut people getting to know, like, and trust you. And that's one of the most important things in sales and marketing is getting people to like you and trust you and even know that you exist, right? So use video to its fullest capacity. I went through that, the main things to look at, the main tips inside of that podcast. Go ahead and go back to that and listen to it. But this is the time of the year to start leaning into content creation, right? And to educate because education sells. What kind of education should you do? Well, I highly recommend that you look at what people are already asking about, okay, in your market and in generally, things about how much does a new roof cost? What should I be looking for, when a storm comes through, to ensure that I won't get a leak. Okay. There's all sorts of things that you could be creating educational content for. Now, I recommend, yes, you do videos, but you back that up with text because guess what Google consumes? Text. Okay. So blog. So the way that I create a video machine for us and our clients is that I create videos. I post them to those videos to YouTube. Then we post it to the website and then we spread them out through all the social media channels. Okay. And the one that's posted to the website is going to have the text, right? Long form, typically, 1 to 2,000 words talking about what I talked about in that video. Okay. That's the way to leverage video in your marketing. And really, if you want to leverage it to help you with search engine optimization, which is, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but leverage that video, right? to create the content that Google wants and they want to rank you for. Make sure it's strategical, make sure that you are answering questions within the roofing industry, okay? And educate, educate because education sells. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is email marketing. Again, this is the type of the time of the year that we should be leaning also into email marketing. Now, what is email marketing? Basically, what we learned in the COVID lockdown, right, is that those businesses that were marketing to that had an email database of everyone who has come into their world, okay, that everyone who has reached out to them, if you can market to those people over time, you're going to increase your sales. And that's ultimately what we want to do, right? So start building your email marketing system if you don't have that already. The easiest leverageable, highest leverageable item that I recommend is a monthly newsletter because if you're doing what I talked about earlier on content marketing, you can just simply leverage that content that you're already creating for for YouTube, for all of your social media channels. Put that and wrap it up into a monthly newsletter and send it out to your entire list. Okay. But what I also recommend is to reach out using email marketing for some of your other services. Okay. I mentioned on this before to lean into some of your other services right now. If you're up north, right? Gutters, windows, siding. Okay. Roof rejuvenation, solar. Nah, it's not solar isn't real big in the north, but we people are still looking for those services. So start leaning into those, start running those promotional campaigns and email them out. Okay. Next, your referral network. If you remember, part of my 4R roofing marketing system is referrals. Okay. It's how most of us build our business to start with. But yet, as we grow, the harder it is to actually ensure that we're consistently getting referrals in on a regular basis, right? You do that through formalizing your referral system. Okay, ensure that it's actually formalized, that it's on your website, that it's in your newsletter. Now, what I would say to do at this point, if you are slowing down, you're getting a little bit more time, have you and your sales staff start going out and ensuring that you are getting to know the plumbers and painters and realtors and inspectors and insurance agents in your service area. Build your referral network. And if you let them know that you have your referral program, right, that gives anyone who sends you a new roof a $250 gift card to Texas Roadhouse, okay, or a $250 gift card, to whatever local restaurant that you have, or a $250 gift card that is a Visa gift card, okay, whatever that you choose to do, whether you choose to write a check, it doesn't matter. Make sure that you are tracking it. Make sure that you are adequately compensating those that send referrals over to you, okay? But right now, if you don't have a referral network built, start building it. Go to chamber events, go to BNI events, start networking in your service area, right? And building that referral network. Get them into your newsletter so that they get some of those educational, you know, items that you're doing. Now, if you want to go next level, I recommend you do this right here. I started a podcast in my area and I've grown my referrals simply by having this podcast. Okay. You could do the same thing. Start up a podcast, possibly interviewing these referral sources, right? So that they can get to know, like, and trust you, right? Because those referral sources have to have that same level of trust that we do with homeowners, and if not more, because they have to know that if they send someone your way, that you're going to represent them very well. Okay. Again, a shortcut to that is something like this right here, a podcast. Next, let's talk about your long-term vision. Okay. Search engine optimization. SEO, right, as it's commonly known as, it takes a while. And it's not something that happens overnight because you have to build that authority and trust with Google. Google has to see you as an expert in your service area before they start ranking you. And the way to do that is to ensure that you're doing everything that I'm talking about above. Okay. But you also need landing pages, okay, that are targeted towards specific keywords that are like roofing contractor in College Station, Texas, roofing company in College Station, Texas, roofer in College Station, Texas, roofer near me. Okay. Do you even have a page that has that and is optimized for that? There are all sorts of other keywords that you can and should be ranked for as well. Each one of those keywords should be a page on your website. Right now, what you do right now for search engine optimization positions us for spring. Okay. So what we are working on for our clients right now is positioning our clients for specific keywords, right, that people are searching for in our clients' search areas, okay, in their service areas. So just make sure that you're working on that, you're staying consistent with it, and really, when it comes down to it, when I talk about marketing and building marketing systems, right, I'm talking about consistency over and over and over again, because if we are not consistent in marketing, then things start slipping. Okay. And there are, I assess, and me and my team assess thousands, thousands of marketing roofers, marketing systems. We assess those, audit them, right? Y'all hate the word audit, so we call them assessments now. But we audit thousands per year because we talk to 4 to 5 roofing companies every single day. Okay. I see consistency as the biggest issue in the roofing industry. And ensuring that you are consistent with marketing is just like being consistent. And I always talk about this, but it's like being consistent dieting or consistent with your exercise. Okay. You're not going to lose 20 pounds overnight. But if you do that over a period of time, you're going to lose 20 pounds if you are consistent with dieting. Same thing with exercise. If you want to get faster at running, let's say that you normally run a 1 mile, if you're like me, probably about 12 minutes, right? Pretty slow. My younger self would be ashamed of me when, I was 16 to 18 years old. I was running, 6-7 minute miles. Now I'm at 12. Well, if I wanted to get back to that, I would have to be consistent and be consistently trying to get better every single day. Okay. That's what we do in marketing and when we build our marketing systems. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Roofer Growth Hacks. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you connect with me online. Make sure that you go to linkedin.com, look me up. I'm Chris Hunter, by the way, the Chief Marketing Officer of roofingsites.com, also the author of The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, roofingsites.com. Since 2018, roofingsites.com has helped roofers double their sales by getting their marketing right using the 4R roofing marketing system. If you're a roofing company owner wanting to grow your business, be sure to go to roofingsites.com, sign up for a roofing marketing strategy session with me. Also, this past year, I published my book, The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. I know I've talked about this a couple of times in this episode, but if you're a roofing company owner and you don't have this hand in your books, I'll send you a free digital copy. Just go to go.roofingsites.com and I'll send you a free digital copy of this book. Well, roofers, join me next time when we connect with another great roofing entrepreneur and learn how they hack their growth. Until then, I'm Chris Hunter. Thanks and gig 'em.